How's it going, everyone? Ryan here from Nidhogg Studios. Going to be talking about the DZO Vespid Prime lenses today. We've had them for about 1 month. This is not going to be an in-depth review. It's just going to be something where I talk about the experience that we've had with them so far. And first thing off the bat is so far so good. The downfalls that we've had with them is only one major issue that is kind of a problem, and it's a very small thing. It doesn't have to do with the lenses, but it has to do with the lens caps. For whatever reason, these are just these little plastic lens caps that they just feel like they're going to fall off, and if you were to grab these wrong or pick them up wrong, you could have a problem on your hands. But other than that, so far they've been very good, and we have the 8 lens set. We're currently shooting this on the 35 millimeter, and we got 35, 25, we have the 16, we have the 50, 75, 90, 100, and 125. And we've used, I think, every single one of them, if I'm not mistaken at this point. The 90 seems to be like really special. It's like a really nice lens for like very detailed macro shots and interview stuff instead of like having an 80. The 75 is also decent, but I prefer this 90 over it almost all the time. And the 50 is really, really nice. And then the great part is they do have a 16 in this kit, which we didn't have a 16 lens previous to that. We do have a vintage 14 lens, but that lens it's just not like something we bring out to a shoot unless it's very specific. And for these cameras that we use with them, we mainly shoot Sony, so we got like the FX3. This is being filmed on the FX9, and on the FX9 you get some great images out of it, and I'll show you some images here that we've shot with the FX9 and FX6 with these lenses. So right here is an interview that we were doing with a baseball school, and it's just going to be like a straight-on shot of somebody talking with the 90 millimeter, and this is one where I just really like this lens with the detail that it carries. And you know, it is a macro lens, but for actually using it in non-macro situations for like that telephoto or like portrait type shot, it's amazing. It's my favorite lens so far out of this. I was also told that the 40 millimeter is insanely good. We don't have it currently. We're probably going to add it to the kit down the line. Maybe a 12 also, but we just want to use these for now as we're just kind of switching over to them for most of our projects. And our previous projects we would shoot on the Sony 28-135 as we do like zooms, just for like a lot of docu-style work or like corporate. They're great. Or commercials. We used one on a commercial recently. Don't have any like footage from that one, as it was more of like a rental situation that we had along with grip for that commercial. But we do have some examples. I should have, yeah, this is what the 75 looks like here. And then this is an example of the, I'm pretty sure this is the 50 millimeter. I don't have it marked, but I'm pretty sure this is the 50. And as I said too, this whole interview here is shot on the 35. And I picked the 35 just because I haven't used the 35 a whole lot, and I've been, you know, wanting to use it. I've used 24 mostly for like the wider shots, but it seems like a good in between for something like this where it's a wider shot that I need in a smaller room instead of using 50 or a 24, but maybe even like the 40 when we get it might be a better option than this lens here for this type of setup. With these lenses, you know, just having them for about like a month at this point, it's something where, as I said in the beginning, it's not something where I've had them for a really long period of time. I'm keeping them. And as I said, we're transitioning our setup from the for the primes, the G Masters, like the 24, 50, and 85 G Masters, we're getting rid of those, and we're switching over to these. And then for anything that we need, like autofocus, we're using our 28 to 135 or 24 to 70 Sigma, or our 100 to 400 G Master telephoto lens, which the 100 to 400 I find to be the best of, you know, the telephoto lenses that I've ever used, just because, you know, the shots just come out amazing, and you're able to get these like super zoom shots, like if you're trying to get like a sunset or like a plane or, you know, a boat that's in the distance, as we do shoot quite a few outdoors based stuff down here in Florida. That lens is really nice. And then also it seems like it's a bit more weather resistant than some of our other lenses, where it just doesn't get affected just by like hot environments where stuff can fog up. For whatever reason, on a recent shoot, it didn't actually fog up, and our 28 to 135 did. It's just one of those things you have to deal with here in Florida, as you're actually switching between like air conditioning and going to outdoors immediately. And, you know, once that sun's beaten down, it ends up just, you know, causing moisture, and you get that element fogged up there. Another thing with this setup is they are PL mount lenses. I think you can get them in EF and E. We decided to go PL mount, and we went and kind of, you know, buy once, cry once type of situation, where we got the 3 PL mounts for our FX9, FX6, and FX3. As you can see, we got it here. And these are the DZOFILM Octopus, if I'm not mistaken, PL to E adapters, and they're actually really good build quality. Haven't had any issues with them at this point. I know there might be a few other ones out there that are a bit higher quality, but these ones will work, and they weren't too expensive. I think they're in a few $100 range, which is a lot for a mount, but you know, when you're investing in this type of setup, it's beneficial to actually get something that's of high quality. And then also with these lenses, we're probably going to do some more testing coming up. We do have a few shoots we're going to be using them on, and we'll update you on them as stuff goes forward and with what we're working on. But in general, you know, I like them so far. I need to shoot with them more. I just want to use them on some more interviews. I'm going to show some stuff that we did that were interviews, some multicam shoots with them, FX6 and FX9, and then single cam with the FX9. The FX9 makes a really good image with them in general, and they're slightly soft in some ways. They have good characteristic there, and then they're also very sharp, and they seem to be fairly sharp wide open, and they're, you know, one of those things where you kind of get good quality all the way through, all the way down to like f6.3, you know, or more if you have to stop down further. It gets them very, very sharp, very, I wouldn't say clinical, but they're more on the vintage looking end as far as I can tell. I could be wrong on that. Let me know down in the comments, and we'll catch you in the next one.